Hi my beauties, Yelena here from Aneley Cosmetics, and today I'm super excited because I got so many requests to do this, so I've decided to make part 3 of Surviving Quarantine Beauty Edition, and today we're going to be discussing, you guessed it, brows. Oh my god, I need my brows done. God knows it's been a while, and you need your brows done, so let's do our brows together today on camera. Today I'm going to be discussing tools to use, from the simplest ones to a little bit more complicated, some techniques, some pain relieving options for those of us who are pretty sensitive. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification sign so you never miss another video. If you'd like to know how to do your brows while you're in quarantine and beyond, hopefully this is going to be over, keep on watching. Okay, so let's talk about the tools first. The first thing you're going to need is a spoolie or a small comb. This one is really tiny. These are one-time use. I buy them in bulk because I use them with clients when they're trying on mascara. So this is perfect, but for yourself, you just need one. And you always want to follow your face. Never follow the trend. If you love the trend, and there are so many trends that are coming out, like in the 90s, we did a very thin line. I don't know if how many of you remember that trend, but in the 90s, we did a very thin line and a lip liner around the lips. It was always so tiny thin, and a lot of people just plucked out their brows, and guess what happened? They overplucked it and they no longer grow back. And now more bushier brows, more natural brows are in, and nobody can really grow the brows out, so we're using serums and we're using all kind of hair regrowth treatments. This is why I'm always kind of trying to steer my clients away from trends. But if you really love something and you're truly inspired, use different techniques. For example, you can use a glue to glue some of that hair away from the brow, right, onto the skin, and then you can just put a little foundation on top of it. Use a purple glue, because once the purple glue dries, it becomes clear, and that's how you know that the glue actually dried. I can show you some of these techniques in the next videos if you'd like, so let me know down below in the comments. But if you want to make it thinner, first do it with the glue and see how you look and if you're going to like it, because honestly guys, trends, they come and go, but everything new is very old. It's just coming back, right? Bushy was once upon a time very trendy. It died out, now it came right back. So thin is probably gonna come back at some point, so don't worry. Let's talk about some tools. So the first one, as I mentioned before, is a spoolie. This is called a spoolie or a mascara wand. This is very important to have. You can just brush up your brows, okay, and see what you need to cut, or brush down the brows and see what you need to cut. Now, how do you know when to go where? Usually when you have curly brows, you're going to go down, because naturally curly brows, they just kind of go down like this and they kind of stick out, but it's always in a downward motion. If you have a straight brows, then you're gonna go up and away. Okay, so that's just a general rule, but of course rules are there to be broken. So you just look at your brows and say, okay, this one is kind of sticking out and this one is kind of sticking out, I'm just going to trim those. The next thing you want to have is a little trimmer. So there's a little tiny scissors. As you can see, they're kind of a little bit curved, and I like it because then you, as you're cutting, you're going to go in the rounded motion just like that, and that way you'll be able to cut it in the exact direction as your brows, which is perfect. So those are the basic tools that I think everyone should have in their cosmetic bag. The next tools I'm going to discuss are the actual tweezers. So I'm going to show you 2 different types of tweezers. Of course, there are more different tools that you can imagine, but today I'm going to show you 2 of them. So the first one kind of looks like scissors, but it's not. These are tweezers. So they're dull and straight. Right there, and they're great if you have kind of a slippery hand and it falls out, so you just want to stick your hands in it and tweeze. I'm going to demonstrate with every one of them. The next tool is regular tweezer, but I like it with a little bit of rubber here, so that way it's a good grip, and they're a little bit slanted, and that's perfect because you know, you'll be able to just place and pull your little hair. And now the ones that you guys have on the market are very thin ones, very pointy. So basically you just have to, you do the same thing, and those are the ones, those are perfect to pull little hair out. And these are very flat also. And the third is a razor. This is a lady laser. You can get them in bulk. They're very cheap, they're disposable, but you can reuse them if you're using them for yourself. And this is just a razor, but it's not going to cut you. It's very dull this way, but it will just kind of remove the hair going this way. So let's go through all of these in a demonstration. So first you want to brush your brows and cut anything that is sticking out. So since I didn't do my brows on purpose, I'm going to just cut at the extra excess, just like this, and then I'm gonna go down and cut the extra. Just like that, and just clean it off. I'm okay with this. I don't want it to go too far, too narrow. Now, I'm gonna go over some rules about where your brow has to end, where's the arch start, what's the highest point of your arch, and where does it begin. You're gonna take something straight. I got this giant ruler because I want to show you in detail where you're supposed to place it. So this isn't set in stone. Of course, if you have deep set eyes, wide set eyes, I mean, there's so many different shapes of eyes and faces and everything. So you're gonna go according to your face, but general rule that we go by is, of course, a straight line, meaning you're gonna go from the corner of your nose, right, the outer corner of your nose, to the inner corner of your eye towards the beginning of your brow. This straight line is going to tell you where you begin the brow. Now, when you're looking straight, you're gonna go from the outer corner of your nose in through the middle, right? That, you know, that little dot in the middle. You're gonna go through that as you're looking straight in the middle, and where it ends lands right there, right? That's your highest point of the arch. And then from here, outer corner of your nose to the outer corner of your eye. And this is where your brow should end, right there. So it looks like I have the perfect brow, but they're a little bit like shorter over here. So I would like it to be a little bit longer, but again, I overplucked this part. So it's fine. You can just draw a little tail there. It's not a big deal. Okay, so let's move on. So now that you know where your brow is supposed to be, what you can do is you can mark it with a pencil, with an eyeliner or something that will stay there. Brown, black, it doesn't really matter as long as it's not waterproof, because it's going to be hard to take off. Let's go in with these tweezers. The way you want to hold the tweezers is just like scissors. You would hold the scissors, and you want to pull on your skin just a little bit because you want it to be straight. If you ever had a waxing done, it's the same technique. They pull on your skin because you want to make sure that, especially if you have wrinkles in this area, you're going to just pinch yourself and it's going to hurt really badly. So you don't want to do that. So you want to just pull it. Don't pull too much because you don't want to do that to your skin. Remember, skin gets adapted to whatever you're doing to it really, really fast. So you want to avoid that. So you want to pull it so that it's just smooth. You're going to hold it parallel. So if this is your skin, how can I show it to you? If this is your brow, under the brow, right? You want to hold it parallel to it. Not like this, not like that, but parallel to it. Why? Because you just want to grab that hair and pull it. Grab it and pull it. You don't want to do this because you might pinch yourself. You don't want to do this either because you might not grab it. So you want to be absolutely parallel to the area. Now, you're going to grab that hair and you're going to pull it. You're going to grab the hair and you're going to pull it just like that. Okay? So this is how you would use these types of tweezers. Now, with these types of tweezers, it's the same thing, but the way you hold them is from the top down. Okay, so you're going to hold it here, you're gonna pull it, and you're gonna go in the same exact motion, and you're going to grab it. The same idea. It has to be flat against your skin, not like this, because you will hurt yourself. You will hurt yourself. You have to be very careful with that. So you're going to go like that, parallel to your brow bone, and pull. That's how you're going to do this. With this little guy here, I love this one. This is the quickest, probably the easiest thing to do for your brows. And the way to use it, the same idea. You pull a little bit on your skin so that it's just smooth, okay? Don't over pull it. You don't want to do that. It'll create little wrinkles. So the way you do it is you just pull on it and then you crisscross your hands just like that. You're going to put this hand on top of this hand, right? So the one that's holding the tool is resting on top of the one that's pulling your skin. Why? Because just like with anything else, when you're applying a lip liner, you want to put a pinky here so that it gives you control. You do the same thing here. It will give you control. So when you're pulling it, it'll give you control. And then you just go again, the same idea, like this. It has to be parallel. It has to be parallel. Practice on your hand so that when you get here, it won't hurt you. And then just go like this. Get close to this area, but not too close, right? Because you want to get rid of the bulk with this one. It's just easier. And then to do a detail work, you can use one of these tools. So how do you do the top? The top, very important for you to pull the hair down, okay? When you're doing the top, okay? Once you're on top, put your pinky on your temple, okay? And then just gently get as close as you can to the brow. Just like that. You can go over your whole face with it. You will not cut yourself. This is, I mean, if you're gonna cut yourself, you're just super talented. And of course, be careful, but I can't imagine you cutting yourself with such a dull tool, but it does the job. You can go all over your forehead if you have hair there. You can go over your face if you have hair there, your mustache. It's such a safe, fantastic tool to have anyway in your purse. It comes with a little cover. It's beautiful. You can get them in a pack. They come in multiple colors. I have a green one there, blue one there. I love them. When I'm in a rush and I don't want to pull my hair with a tweezer, I go for this little guy. So now another thing that I want to share with you is if you have very sensitive skin, apply some powder in this area. So I'm going to just use my foundation, the powder foundation. It's anti-inflammatory, so it's perfect. And you can use it immediately after you're tweezing. So that's another trick that you should remember. It is so good because it'll calm the skin down. And then you just pull. Okay, the middle here, okay, the same idea. You can use either the tweezers that are like scissors, either these tweezers or this. So the way you do it is, with this little guy, you can just go on top like this, put your pinky here. Normally, this is pretty much a very smooth area. If you do have wrinkles here, just pull it up like this and go this way and remove anything that's right there. Here, same idea, get as close as possible with it. Always have, if you don't have a steady hand, especially, even if you do have a steady hand, try to put a little bit of pressure on the side just to give yourself some control. Having extra control is not going to hurt you, it's going to help you. I will post some links down below of the things that I recommend. And of course, you can go to any beauty supply and ask them for their advice, but these are just some of the things that I use. I don't normally shop in regular drugstores. I shop in beauty supplies because their stuff is a little bit more professional and long lasting, which I love. Something like this, for example. I think this is Tweezerman, which I love, and it's stainless steel. Now, another thing I want to show you is how to choose the tweezers. Now, if you're going to close them like this, you should not see any light passing through here. In other words, it has to completely come together. Same thing with these tweezers. It has to completely come together, okay? So I don't know if you'll be able to see it like that. I don't really know how to show it to you, but it has to completely close, okay? It should not have any light passing through it. If it does, then it won't pick up your it won't pick up the hair very well. So that's going to be, of course, an issue, and it's not gonna do the job. So thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this edition of Surviving Quarantine Part 3, and it's all about the brows. If you have any questions, please feel free to let me know. If there's an idea that you'd like for me to do, a tutorial or an explanation, let me know as well down below in the comments. I love reading your comments, I love doing videos, and I love helping you. Please remember to subscribe and turn on that notification sign so you never miss another video. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I'll see you in the next one.